So, good evening. So, let us prepare ourselves for meditation. Be seated. We can do a little ritual, that is, light a lamp, maybe an incense stick, or whatever is your preference. And then we'll start a guided meditation. And as we are seated, let us put ourselves in the presence of the source of radiant light, the source of infinite life, and the source of unending bliss. Let us be aware of how we are seated. Let us be aware that the body is in contact with whatever we are seated on. And let us adopt an attitude that everything, every one of our experiences, what is seen, what is heard, what is touched and tasted, all the environment around us, space, and all the scenes that we experience and have experienced today, let us melt them all into the quintessence of our being, namely that supreme eternal self. What is the self? It is the innermost essence of our own being. Let us sit a little calmly now, without necessarily any thought, just being aware of how we are seated and the contact with which we are seated. The skin contacts clothing and the air, and because of the firmness of the earth, we are able to sit. And we can re-register everything so that we can see that the earth is the Divine Lord's footstool. It is our support. That supreme principle is our support. It supports everything. Let us feel that we have 3 centers in this body. And the 3 centers in this body correspond to 3 centers of the mind. Just visualize that the one center is in the middle of the eyebrows. It is a center of light, center of the intellect. It represents infinite knowledge and consciousness. Let us feel that in the center of our own being, in the heart, is the warmth of infinite bliss. center of love. And love is blissful. And let us feel in the area of the navel. It is a reflection of that aspect of the mind to do with pure existence. It is the center of existence itself. And these three beams, as it were, from the mind that radiate throughout the body, we can imagine that they are centralized in the inner depth of the heart of hearts. And from there we can beam out our light and life and love, and beam out the harmony of existence. And pure harmony is there, and beauty is there, and radiance is there, intelligence is there, knowledge is there, love is there. All infinitely beaming and condensing in various ways as your world, as my world, as the world itself. Let us feel that we are sitting in the presence of the source of this divine existence, consciousness and bliss, that we are being blessed from all sides in an unending flow of love. Let us taste the nectar of bliss that is inherently inside nature. And let us return this in a spirit of generosity to all beings. Let us say, may all beings be happy, may all beings be peaceful, may all beings be blissful. Let us chant 9 times the sound symbol Om, and as we do so, let us allow this sound to radiate throughout the universe, starting off from the inner core of the heart, through the vocal cords, expressing itself outwardly, thinking that it is the source of all these vibrations that come as names and forms. Let us spend a few moments resonating with this sacred, ancient vibration that sets off all the oscillations of the universe. Let every cell of the body thrill with this sound. Let it saturate our whole being. Let us turn our attention now to the hands. With the thumb, let us touch the tips of each finger, being aware of the tangible sensation of the body. Let us mentally infuse what we are touching with the divine vibration. Let us feel how the luminosity of the divine reaches every corner, reaches every end, every termination, every cell, every extremity. Now let us put ourselves in a position of a witness. Let us imagine that our mental field, that area where thoughts and feelings arise and have their sport and disappear. Many thoughts have gone through the mind in the day. Many thoughts may be going through the mind now. Let us watch the pedestrians of the thoughts going through the mind. Let us observe the traffic in a detached way. Let us see them arise. Let us see them come and go. Let us not disturb them. Let us see them as waves. But we know that all waves are divine waves. The whole universe is nothing more than fragmented divinity. Let us feel it. Let us retreat more and more and more into the position of the observer. Let us enter deeply and sink down into the cave of the heart. Let us feel the luminosity within. Let us now construct a scene of our own. Let us imagine that you are sitting on the banks of a vast flowing river. Let us see the shore in the distance, replete with trees and coconut palms. Let us be content just to see the flow of the river and enjoy the sunshine and the reflection of the sun highlighted in the waves of the water. And as you turn around, rising up before you, beautiful domes against a blue sky. Many engineers took their time to build such a beautiful building, housing a representative image of the Divine Mother of the entire universe, Mother Nature, divine energy that flows through, in and through and as everything. We are told that there is a living image there because a holy man has seen it. And where is this holy man? We are directed to a corner room whose veranda overlooks the river. And there we find a door, and with a little reserve, we go in, and there are about 12 people sitting on the floor. They are listening to somebody. They are straining their necks to see this holy man who sits there. And the holy man is sitting on a bed. He has just told something that makes people laugh. And somehow his attractive eyes fall on me, and he beckons me to the front. I'm a little shy, but I sit. And he inquires where I have come from and looks at me quizzically. And I see something special in his face. And I see and feel his whole body is made from pure, blissful love. And his very face shines with it. And his parted lips smile as if he is sipping eternally the nectar of divine love and wisdom. And he is speaking, but I don't know what he is saying because I only see his face. I watch his animated expressions, but I know whatever he says is the very voice of God. And his eyes settle on me, brimming full of compassion. And I see that his eyelids half closed, and his eyes start to be indrawn. And with this, he draws me in. And I get drawn in to the essence of his beaming radiance. And I feel his motherly love. And I feel his oneness. And I feel he is the quintessence of purity and goodness and truth. And I feel existence itself, and consciousness itself and bliss. And I enter into his world of divine waves of light and expressions of love. And the foundation of existence itself. And I feel this oneness. And within me, a joy arises because of this. And he has led me to pure being, where there are no two, where there is only one ocean of nectar. And he has plunged me into it. And I feel the oneness of my own true nature. And just as he led me in, he takes me by the hand and leads me out. Affectionately stroking my chin. And I see that once more he sits with his long, exotic arms and his artistic fingers. His smile reflecting deep, deep, ecstatic bliss. And he calls for something to eat and drink. And he takes some food like a mother in his fingers and offers it to me and puts it in my mouth. And I look around the room and see that all the people who I had forgotten are there, are all transformed. by the magic of pure knowledge, goodness, purity and devotion. And it is as if his skin shines with a golden hue, radiating the divinity beyond every border to the whole scene, the whole room. And as he tells me to come and gain, I walk. It is now evening time. And the bells of the temple are ringing. And the priests are getting the lamps ready. Ready to reenact the drama of the sun going down. And outside of the room, I see the wonderful mauves and purples and reds and pinks of the sky, and the outline of the trees across the river. With new eyes, I see that it is all a play of divine waves, and I am happy that I came. And I know that the source of life that I experienced as a being, as oneness, has not gone away. And it is found in all the things I see and hear and touch and taste. All the sounds that come to the ear, and the ear itself, and all the sights that the eyes alight on, and all the forms and sights that I see. And in the very air, the moisture-filled air from the river, and the floating clouds of the sky, and the birds finding their way home, and the boats calmly returning to the shore. Salutations to that one without a second that is eternal and that also plays as people and places and events and scenes. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace be on the all, and let this peace radiate to every corner, transforming bodies and minds.